With a 7-2 record, the Baltimore Ravens are undoubtedly among the NFL's most dominant teams thus far this year. Star quarterback Lamar Jackson, though, doesn't believe the club has yet to play at its best, and he also doesn't appear to believe they will have to. What message did Lamar Jackson tell? With this week's 37-3 rout over the Seattle Seahawks, quarterback Lamar Jackson made it apparent that the Ravens don't have to worry about reaching their maximum level of play this season since their current level of play is sufficient. Jackson stated in his post-game press conference that the Ravens don't even need to hit peak or stride if we are playing like that. Pro Football Talk reports that Jackson also stated that the team must just keep staying locked in how we are and just play every opponent the same way physicality, being smart and defending what's ours, our home turf. Jackson seemed largely unconcerned about how near this club was to reaching its potential after the victory. Rather, his only concern is maintaining this pace. Jackson stated, "I won't say we are far off or close, we just need to keep doing what we are doing. Keep improving every single week and keep stacking." The idea that the Ravens may not have played their greatest football yet scares the rest of the league. Is Lamar Jackson frustrated with the Ravens for adding Odell Beckham Jr.? The first interaction wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. had with quarterback Lamar Jackson was as a Raven happened only a few hours after he and Baltimore came to a one-year agreement. Jackson captioned a photo of himself FaceTiming with Beckham on Instagram with the hashtag. With his impressive catch radius and penchant for spectacular grabs, Beckham is expected to significantly improve the NFL's least productive wide receiver group, which the Ravens had the fewest receiving yards, 1517, fewest targets, 200, and second fewest receptions, 124 last season. However, the Ravens believe that the more direct effect will be to lure Jackson to Baltimore. It's still unclear whether Jackson, who is representing himself and doesn't have an agent, would sign an offer sheet with another team or play with the Ravens under the non-exclusive franchise tag 1 month after asking for a trade from Baltimore. Although Ravens officially have expressed their desire for Jackson to be their quarterback throughout the offseason, they sent a stronger statement when they made their largest wide receiver commitment to date, giving Beckham $15 million in guaranteed money. This came from a team that isn't renowned for offering wide-out large salaries. Beckham appeared to be attempting to ensure that Jackson would be passing to him come football season. In addition to posting a photo of his 1-year-old Zidane supporting Jackson's number 8 Ravens jersey on Instagram, Beckham made his announcement about his trip to Baltimore public. Based on Jackson's social media post, it seems that he gave his blessing to the addition of Beckham, who stands for everything that Jackson has never experienced. The Ravens, who joined the NFL in 1996, have never had a receiver selected to the Pro Bowl. Based on research from ESPN Stats and Information, the Carolina Panthers have the second longest drought. They haven't had a Pro Bowl receiver since Steve Smith Sr. in 2011. In Jackson's first NFL seasons, Beckham, a 3-time Pro Bowler, is the most accomplished and potent wide receiver. In 2018, this is not Michael Crabtree. This isn't Sammy Watkins in 2021 or Des Bryant in 2020. Furthermore, DeMarcus Robinson and Deshaun Jackson from a year ago are most definitely not this. These receivers were all inexpensive temporary pass catchers. Since Smith in 2016, Beckham has been the Ravens' most improved veteran wide receiver, making plays. Considering that Beckham hasn't played since rupturing his left ACL 14 months ago, concerns have been raised regarding his well-being and output. But with 7 touchdowns in his past 11 games, Beckham was a game-changer for the Los Angeles Rams during their Super Bowl run. But after posting 1,000-yard seasons in 5 of his first 6 years, his output has declined. Since 2019, he has not exceeded 600 yards receiving. Jackson's output was negatively impacted by Baltimore's inability to consistently find outside targets. Throughout his career, he has delivered 51 touchdown passes. In his 9-year career, Beckham has caught 56 touchdown passes. Jackson has been the focus of the Ravens' offseason, and the latest effort is luring Beckham to Baltimore. To update a run-centric game plan, the Ravens brought on Todd Monken as offensive coordinator. Tim Martin, the wide receiver coach, replaced Jackson as the quarterbacks coach in Baltimore. Former first-round selection Nelson Aguilar, a wide receiver, was the only other outside free agent signed by Baltimore. In other words, the Ravens have completely redesigned their wide receiver corps and paired it with one of the greatest offensive line blocking units, two effective running backs in J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, and a Pro Bowl tight end in Mark Andrews. The quarterback position is where the offensive has the most uncertainty. Jackson is technically not under contract, so he can skip all of training camp and the off-season exercises in the spring until he signs his $32.416 million franchise tender. It's even possible that he becomes the first player to refuse to play for the franchise tag for the whole season since running back Le'Veon Bell in 2018. However, veteran NFL running back James White tweeted, "So this must mean Lamar is back in Baltimore." Immediately after Beckham's agreement became the talk of the league. Deal with Beckham may be the first indication that Jackson will start quarterbacking the Ravens in 2023, especially in an off-season where the organization has been plagued by a contract standoff with Jackson. How amazing has Lamar Jackson's development been? Lamar Jackson, the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, is working hard to position himself for a big contract expansion, and his coach is impressed with how far he has come. As per Kevin Ostreeter of Ravens Wire, James Urban, the quarterback's coach for the Ravens, stated the following regarding the progress he has observed in Jackson. "I watched Jackson develop in ways that might not be immediately apparent. As his coach, though, I really appreciate that he's pulling off fakes when we run the ball. He poses such a threat as a runner that if he keeps pulling off his fakes and takes tremendous satisfaction in doing so, we can hold 2 or 3 guys back, even if just for a stride. Where I truly see him developing is in those kinds of things. Since the Ravens selected him in the first round of the 2018 NFL Draft, Jackson has not only established himself as one of the league's most dynamic playmakers, but he has also proven his doubters wrong by becoming an effective pocket passer during his 5 seasons in the league, the last 3 of which he spent as the team's full-time starter. In 67 regular season games, the 26-year-old Florida native has completed 63.8% of his passes for 11,735 yards, 100 touchdowns, and 37 interceptions. He's also accrued 23 touchdowns on the ground and 4,308 running yards. With 62.3% of his passes completed for 1,768 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, Jackson has a 63 record. In addition, he has 2 touchdowns and 635 yards of rushes after taking over for Joe Flacco in the offense. Jackson amassed 43 touchdowns in all, 6 passing and 7 rushing, earning him the title of league's most valuable player in 2019. That season, he was selected for the Pro Bowl and chosen as the first-team All-Pro. The one area going ahead where the 2016 Heisman Trophy winner will be expected to improve is playoff performance. Jackson has made 4 postseason starts with the Ravens, although they have a 1-3 record together. With 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, he has completed 55.9% of his throw attempts, a significant drop from his regular season efficiency. In addition, he has had 19 layoffs. Baltimore finished with an 8-9 record in 2021, missing out on the playoffs. However, it's not unusual for the best quarterbacks in the NFL to have difficulties in their early postseason careers. Peyton Manning, for instance, passed for only 1 touchdown in his first 3 postseason losses. Despite everything, he ended his career with 2 Super Bowl championships and a spot among the greatest of all time. Jackson's career is off to a great start and he's established himself as the quarterback for the Ravens. But unless a long-term agreement is made, his future will remain somewhat questionable. If he keeps improving and plays at the high level he was so far this season, the Ravens may consider signing him to a long-term contract this coming summer. At worst, they'll probably use the franchise tag on him during the offseason. Jackson is currently approaching each game as it comes up. Are you a die-hard fan of the NFL? What do you think about Lamar Jackson's recent statement to the NFL? Do share your view on this in the comments section. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications.